The written word comes with plenty of power, and you have the opportunity to express your thoughts and feelings and ideas with the community through a new project. No experience needed, and everyone's invited.
The Postcard Poetry Project through the Grand Rapids Public Library is open to anyone with something to say. Michelle Dunaway met the visionary behind the upcoming exhibit.
Well, good morning, everyone. We are at the Grand Rapids Public Library with the Grand Rapids Poet Laureate, Kane, with us this morning. Kid, first of all, tell us what it means to be a Poet Laureate for the city.
Peace and love. To be the Poet Laureate means that you become the ambassador of poetry, like the mayor of poetry almost, someone who is here to facilitate projects and programs and events that involve the community and put them in a position to connect with poetry in a new way.
And so tell us a little bit about your history as an artist, as a poet, and what brought you to this point.
Absolutely. I started writing as a kid. It's been just a love of mine since I was very, very small. And then I just started doing poetry in the community and got a lot of love. Love the way it connected me to myself, love the way it connected me to community. I also work as a teaching artist with the Diatribe Inc., and we are doing just incredible things in community with poetry and art. And so this is my life's work. It's my passion.
It's Poetry Month, April, and so what are you doing with the Grand Rapids Library to get more people involved?
Yes, the Postcard Poetry Project, A Space to Speak, is a project that I dreamed up when I was thinking about ways to engage different demographics, different audiences of poetry, and also while in pandemic, trying to find a way to keep people safe and still have them connecting with the art form, and people can go home, take their space to speak on a postcard that they should use almost like a mini mural to use art and poetry to express themselves, to take their space to speak.
Yeah. And so tell us how people can really tap into those feelings and put that on paper and what you're hoping to gather.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited that the Grand Rapids Public Library is going to allow us to do this at all 8 branches. People are able to go and pick up the postcard and really, really tap into themselves. What would you want to say to someone 20 years from now if they were to come to the library and look at the archives? Once we collect and gather all of the postcards, it'll go in a rotating exhibition that'll go to all 8 library branches, and there'll also be a digital exhibition. So if you wanted to say something to your community, if you wanted to say something to yourself, younger self, yourself in the future, what would you say? If you wanted to speak to what we've experienced in the last 2 years while in pandemic, if you wanted to rejoice about the power of the city of Grand Rapids and your space and place in the city, what would you say? Get as funky as you want. Like I said, looking at this postcard like a little mini mural. If you were going to blast something on the side of a building and you wanted everyone to rejoice at your expression, what would you say?
Wonderful. And you're talking art, you're talking words, you're talking whatever you're feeling.
I really want people to think outside the box, liven it up. We do so many art-infused things here as we move into Art Prize. With the work that we do with the Diatribe, there's murals all over 49507. And so this is really, really, really becoming a city where art is amplified. And so I love the idea of us thinking about visual art and pairing it with poetry and language arts, just so that we can express ourselves from the heart and take our space to speak.
I love it. I love it. And so, yeah, you can go to any of the Grand Rapids Public Libraries, pick up that card, fill it out, bring it back. Kid, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
You're going to want to stick around because Kid's going to share one of her poems with us.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, we'll check back with you in a little bit.
We are excited about that. So if you want to learn more about Kid or the Postcard Poetry Project, we have it on our website.